Hi, this is Scott Lauser, Minot's household name with Next Home Legendary Properties. And I wanted to put a video out and talk a little bit about the qualifications to be a realtor or probably the certifications and the designations that elevate professionalism in the real estate industry. And I wanted to address a couple comments I've heard towards the end of summer and as school began from people in the market wondering what my role has been in real estate over the last couple of years, especially with respect to serving in the North Dakota legislature and now serving on the Minot School Board. And I want to let everybody know that real estate is my profession. It has been my passion for now almost 29 years. I started in 1997, purchased the company in 2007, and we became Next Home Legendary Properties in Minot in 2016 and expanded our company into other markets. Currently, Bismarck, we started in 2018, and Fargo also started in 2018. And every once in a while I get that question because I'm volunteering in the community. I've been coaching a lot of youth teams, and the question comes up, is real estate still what you do for a living? And of course, if I didn't do real estate for a living and strayed away from it, I wouldn't be able to volunteer my time coaching and look for those public service opportunities, whether it's just volunteering on committees or elected positions such as the school board, which I got elected in the summer of 2024. And I've been in the legislature now since 2010. Of course, the legislature is 80 days every 2 years, so January to about the end of April every other year, every other odd year. And then the school board, we meet monthly on a 4-year commitment. So I just wanted to let people know this is my passion. This is what I do for a living, and I am available to serve all of your real estate needs. We are available in pretty much every market in North Dakota, but here in Minot, primarily where I serve, I am available residential and commercial, lots and land, new construction, investment properties. And so I just wanted to get that out. But I do want to talk about the designations that are available to realtors through the National Association of Realtors, and all of them that I hold that will help you. So let's start with the ABR designation, which is Accredited Buyer Representative. I have been serving as an accredited buyer representative for nearly 20 years. And what that means is my focus as a buyer representative is on specializing and representing my buyers' needs. I bring stronger advocacy and reduced market time, reduced stress to my buyers, whether it's looking for the property, negotiations, getting the right financing package in place, and then getting over all of those hurdles to get us to closing on time, which is generally a 45-day window. The requirements to earn an ABR designation include about 2 days worth of training, the ability to grasp all the information, of course, in that training, and then pass a test, provide evidence that you've represented buyers on a number of transactions, and then keep your membership with ABR and the National Association of Realtors. A few years ago, I actually got trained to be an instructor for the ABR course. And so I'm a certified accredited buyer representative instructor in North Dakota, as well as an accredited buyer representative manager through the National Association of Realtors. And so what that means for my buyers is a smoother transaction than otherwise might be the case. Now let's talk about how that plays in with the sellers and the seller representative specialist, which is another certification that I've received that focuses on sellers, whether it's strong marketing, negotiations, and of course, better net results to get the highest price possible in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of headaches. And in order to get that SRS designation, that includes coursework as the ABR does, passing an exam, and then completing the application process to show that obviously you've done transactions on the seller side over the course of the last couple of years, and then submitting and maintaining the designation and the certifications through NAR. Now, the one that is probably most talked about is the certified residential specialist. And based on numbers that I've seen across the United States, it's somewhere between 2 and 4% of realtors in the United States have this designation. Now, this isn't something that you can just go take a 2-day class. You have to take modules, and they're only offered in limited amounts of time, both live and online. And so I've held its CRS designation, Certified Residential Specialist, I think for about 20 years as well. And again, the top 2 to 4% of realtors in the United States hold that designation. And that is a much higher level. So you would think beyond graduating from college, this would be like a master's degree in real estate, if you want to use that analogy. And that includes passing a test as well and membership in the Certified Residential Specialists in the United States. The next designation would be the GRI designation, or the Graduate the Realtor Institute. And this requires sitting through modules. In many cases, it'll be about 4 days worth of classes. It is very well-rounded, talks about or covers training in contracts, law, both state and federal, as well as technology and marketing. And the value to our clients is a reduced risk, and it makes our practice more professional. Now, I don't know how many realtors across the United States, what percentage hold the GRI designation, but I believe it's less than 10%. And so that requirement is, again, completing the required coursework, passing all of the tests, and then staying current on your education and renewal the necessary education and renewal updates on an annual basis. The next I'd like to talk about is ePro, which is a certification through the National Association of Realtors. Now, I have to say, when I got the ePro certification, it was years ago, and technology has changed dramatically since then. And so that was kind of the baseline, that to have that certification from a technology standpoint. And then it's been up to me to stay up to date on education and certification type opportunities when it comes to technology. Most of what I'm doing now is self-study, but that ePro designation is something that came out with the realtors years ago. I think it's still relevant, and it shows a bit of attention to detail on technology. Now, the one that I think is there's actually 2 that are a bit unique. The first is AHWD, At Home with Diversity. And this was a course that was put on by the National Association of Realtors that gives us and our clients a level of understanding of fairness, and for sellers and buyers, that they're going to be treated equally. It should go without saying, but every once in a while there are issues that come up in real estate transactions that kind of send up red flags. And this At Home with Diversity opportunity is something I took advantage of, and through NAR took those classes and got that certification. The next one is Pricing Strategy Advisor, PSA. And this one I really enjoy because it really focuses on us as realtors. Do you put the effort in when somebody needs a market analysis on their property? Do you actually dive in and make it similar to an appraisal, where you analyze their property against sold data recently and what's on the market, and then do the adjustments for things like amenities, square footage, year built, location, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, garage, where is the laundry room as it relates to the property, the updates on the interior and exterior. A lot of things go into pricing property, and it's very easy to take a property and put it into a computer and spit out a number. It's much more detailed and difficult to actually do the analysis on what the market would look at should that property go on the market. And so Pricing Strategy Advisor is a certification that I'm proud of, and I think it benefits both buyers and sellers. The next one is Military Relocation Professional, MRP. And this matters for the Minot market because it's training on the VA loan, PCS moves, military clients as far as their timing and their ability to not only come into the market, but potentially have to leave before their house is sold. And so that requires complete MRP training in the coursework, passing the applicable assessments and the modules, and then getting that certification, remaining in good standing with the realtors. Military relocation specialist, especially in the Minot market, is a valuable tool for our buyer and seller clients. Another certification or designation is the CRB, which is similar to the CRS, but Certified Residential Broker. Now, this one I actually took classes in Florida prior to a national convention. I went to the convention early so I could take those classes, and it allowed for my perspective as a broker on not only how to run the company, but how to handle the issues that my agents may run across with their transactions and their clients. And so certified residential broker, less than 1% of the realtors, of course, in the United States have this designation. And I think it's important because it brings a perspective of I can't say that I've heard it all because every transaction has something different, but it's allowed me the tools to problem solve when those issues do arise for our clients. And certified residential broker is something I'm proud of. Another one that doesn't get used very often is the SFR, which is Short Sale and Foreclosure Resource. And this one specializes in real estate owned properties by banks, foreclosure situations where a seller has already gone through foreclosure and that property might be owned by a government sponsored enterprise. Short sales where a lender accepts less than what's due on the mortgage or on the note from the seller based on what the market is doing currently. And how do you navigate through those types of transactions when there's an absolute third party that is making decisions on behalf of a seller in order to transfer the deed? And so the value to that, it comes to the buyers and the sellers on those distressed transactions actually getting the offer accepted and all the way to closing, which is not always simple to do when you're dealing with maybe an out-of-state entity such as a bank or a government-sponsored enterprise. And so to complete that was a full one-day course, a course passing the final exam and staying in good standing. So there are a number of letters that follow our title, and you often see it on a business card or an email that include all of those designations. Now, I'm bringing this up because those designations matter. It demonstrates a commitment to my clients, our buyers and sellers in our office, my commitment to the agents that work for Next Home, and an ongoing education process that I think is valuable to the industry. And so look for those letters and those designations after your realtor's name. Everything that I listed, I hold as a designation or a certification. And just this week, I sat through 3 hours of training from one of the title companies in Bismarck regarding some of the federal requirements on transactions that are entities, whether it's the buyer or the seller, but the buyer entity, whether it's a partnership or an LLC or a trust that's paying cash for a property, is going to trigger some additional disclosures that are going into effect on December 1st of 2025. So continuously updating our education and our competency is valuable, and it demonstrates a commitment to our clients and the industry. So I wanted to get that video out today to talk about the commitment that I have to the market and to our clients here at Next Home Legendary Properties in Minot. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, ask about any of those designations or certifications and what they mean to you as a buyer or a seller. This is Scott Lauser, Minot's household name with Next Home Legendary Properties, and I look forward to working for you in the near future.